Okay, voice. Before prod comes out, not much is going to change infrastructurally, but it will be a lot more robust as far as numbers, prompting, node-based type bots. We'll get into that later, and then dynamic data in the workflow action. That's all going to be, along with prod. But for right now, I want to use voice. How do I use voice? So you have your knowledge base, right, that has your calendar in it. If you don't already have this, go here. This is changed to vector store. I just put an update out on this. So what you'll do is you'll just change your old training data type to a vector store. We will do all this on the back end. You just click some nice big red buttons for me, and I will do all of this for you. Change this to a vector store, change your files into vector store files. And what we're going to do is break up your files, turn them into almost pieces of code to feed to the assistant. So when generations are made, that your files, your FAQs, anything that goes along with that is going to be hard code embedded in the responses. So it makes responses, one, a lot more accurate to the information that's going to be in there, and two, generation a lot quicker to get FAQ answers accurately. And I can even pull up something here for you. Okay, so here's the page from OpenAI. It's just saying that any data that you upload, any documents, they're going to parse, chunk, and then create and stores embeddings to use both the vector and keyword search to retrieve relevant content for inbound messages and questions asked. These are the file types. Anything that sits outside of this probably will be like things like CSV that are not actually put in here. We can convert CSV to JSON. I'll have converters built in for you so that you'll technically be able to expand these file types as you go through your deployment. So this is that. I just wanted to cover that as we go through. But yes, training data, hook up your calendar. If you have not done so, sync, pick which calendar you want, and we're off to the races on our training data. All right, go create a new voice assistant. We'll go outbound, check this compliance so you're not going to do anything crazy. And let's create that outbound. We have a new outbound here. So just fill in this information here. Very, very easy. Interruption threshold is going to be the time that the assistant takes, almost like queuing in chat. Maximum duration will cut off the call politely at a certain amount of time so you don't go over. Voicemail, message forwarding. I don't feel like I have to go through much of this stuff. Prompting, I will share some best practices. This isn't the best practice. I will show you which one's best. Okay, let's go ahead and go here to training data. And then I'm going to link up the training data that we have here because this is the calendar that I would like for it to book to. We can get real fancy with post-call webhook. I'll show you that in a minute. Let's go. Okay, that should be fine. Best practices on prompting. Keep it very, very short and sweet. I know everyone loves to be a prompt engineer. If not, you'll have to really get in there and hard code a lot of some things, set some parameters. But I'll tell you, these things are going to work 10 times better, just like any LLM, right? Too much prompt, a lot of the times, is going to be overwhelming, and you will find your responses to not be as optimized as they could be. Give it an overview or generalization of what you need it to do, right? Like, this is a good style. This is the viral, the actual viral bland, prompt that they had on the billboard. If you don't know, there was a vendor for AI calling. They put out a billboard for calling. Their stuff went viral. They got a ton of calls in. This is the one that did it. Okay, enough stuff here. Configure how you'd like here. Select your voice, prompt here, training data here, post-call webhook if you'd like to. All we need to do, grab this ID, go to automation, in your workflows, and then you should see a custom workflow action. So if I go down here, here's the custom workflow action here. So if I click this, I scroll all the way to the bottom, you see assistant outbound call. You click that and you should get this here. If you do not see this, if you do not see that assistant outbound call, reset your OAuth. For whatever reason, even if you selected it, GoHighLevel doesn't love to automatically update marketplace apps, which is kind of what this infrastructure for the this workflow action sits on. So if you don't see this, update your OAuth, just reconnect the sub accounts. You don't lose any data or anything. Shouldn't take you very, very long to do, and minimal downtime. It takes like 30 seconds to a minute, and you should see all this. Now, this other stuff is going to be for the update too. I'll share that later, but this is the one we're worried about. Assistant outbound call. All you have to do, put in your assistant ID here. All right, put in your intro message here. This is the message that's going to be said after someone picks up the phone and says, hello. What is the assistant going to say? Put your dynamic information in, put their name, put their company name, whatever in there. Okay, and then you're done. That's deploying this in a nutshell. That's literally it. You run a contact through here. All this stuff is done between HighLevel and us. We've kind of handled all the complexities of webhooks, complexities of authorization, complexities of everything here. That should all be handled for you. Error handling, will be in the update as well. But that's literally it. Do this. Put your assistant ID in, your greeting message. Make sure your prompt is very, very short, concise, and an overview to be very dynamic, and you'll find that voice is extremely easy to deploy. Now, with voice, so let's go to contacts in this sub account, and let's go to my name, go here, and then once the call is complete, so all you do is you pass your contact through that workflow action. That's it. Okay. Once that contact is passed through the workflow action, you will receive a call. And once you call, the assistant will converse with you. You'll have fun. Everything in between. Afterwards, you will get a summary put into the notes of that contact and a recording link from Twilio into the notes of the contact here. We'll just automatically push that for you. And then, of course, you will see it in the logs. Post-call webhook. While we're here, let's get a little fancy with it. So that's deployment. Workflow action, run the contact through it. Make sure your prompt doesn't have JSON. Make sure your prompt is short, sweet, nice, cute, great. It allows for dynamic abilities for the voice assistant, and you'll find it to be much better than if you had this crazy prompt with tons of FAQs and everything. I keep it short and sweet like this. Now, training data links to the calendar. Technically, it can book. Now, it's not as dynamic as the chat assistants when it comes to booking, like responsiveness of appointments not booked, etc. But you should be good. Post-call webhook. I'm just going to go over this high level real quick. Post-call webhook. Okay, so you'll see this post-call webhook here, and you're like, what is this? So go to workflows in HighLevel, and you can do this on outside systems too, to do things. But the trigger here is going to be inbound webhook. Now, inbound webhook is going to give you this, right? And so we're just going to take this, for example. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to let me just save this one first. We're going to copy this. We're going to put this here, all right? And then we are going to send the webhook. All right, so we're going to send some information over to HighLevel, and you'll see, what's today? 5/3, here we go. This is the one we just sent. And what it's just going to tell HighLevel is what it should be looking for. So after the call is done, the post-call webhook, once that call is finished, we're going to send a couple things. We're going to send a call ID, which is how you're going to reference this call back to the contact. So once you do that assistant outbound call, you will get a call ID afterwards. You just save that to the contact in a custom field, custom value, whatever you want, notes, and then reference it back here to make sure the contact is pushed. We also give you the contact ID here, funny enough. So contact ID here, human voice IVR will tell you who answered the call, the sentiment of the call, positive, negative, neutral, or undefined. Call to action executed will tell you what happened. If something happened, how do we follow up on the call? We're just going to give you an AI-generated follow-up analysis to kind of give you an actionable item for follow-up. Required call disposition, it's going to be one of these things: busy, canceled, completed, no answer, voice message no longer in service, do not call, and call to action completed. And then any information we collected during that call that you don't already have will be given here. That's post-call webhook. Why do we do that? Because we can do some stuff after the call here, right? So inbound webhook, and then we can say, call disposition is completed, meaning it talked to somebody. We can do some stuff here. We can do a little follow-up. And then, we can even get a little bit dynamic, and we could say, well, okay, they talked to the assistant, and maybe there was an appointment booked, but what was the sentiment of the call? It was positive. If it was positive, maybe we want to follow up here. And if it was positive, if it wasn't positive, if it was neutral or negative, perhaps we don't want to follow up immediately. Perhaps that's going to be later. So then we can just go down that route. But that is post-call webhook. Just allows you to campaign on the back end of the call, and then also trigger workflows with that as well. So that should be good. That should get you caught up on voice for what it sits today. Have some fun with it. Production will come out where we'll have a lot more cool stuff. You'll have a lot more capabilities, a lot more abilities for numbers and things like that. And I will share all that when that is officially released. But this should take care of you until that point. So thank you so much.